New cappuccino, so delicious. Reading the Shatapism book, drink New cappuccino. Okay, we are talking about a lot of karmic appearances. And maybe it's when you say the karmic appearances, maybe we can use in the modern ways like tendencies, appearances, like habitual tendencies, appearances. And the appearances of the different realms, different situations. This externally situation and influence to us very much. As I mentioned, when you look through in the YouTube, you see some nice landscape, and this landscape inside we don't know it, but too far you look, it's nice. It can feel you something joyful, happy, make peace. But in the YouTube, when you see in the screen of the TV, there's nothing flower, nothing. Maybe this picture is already gone. It's kind of the patterns, in the patterns of the camera. The reality is already gone. But the picture in the camera, it's good or bad, nice or not nice, very much depends this filmmaker, photographer. When he or she make nice film, nice photographers, then the picture is nice. If this photographer or the film makers not very good, then picture is not very nice. Like this, we have a great photographer, picture like kind of the maker, the mind. And it's all the time is making picture, film. Mind has wonderful 5 cameras. Don't worry. All directions there the zoom eye. Each moment the mind making picture, recording, shooting, making the nice or I don't know nice, I'm not sure, but making film. And then also mind itself is wonderful projector, projecting these pictures outside something else. And then also mind is watching. And also mind is very funny. Itself to make a painting, picture, shoot, record, everything, but not very much care. But when they are projecting picture on the wall of the space, some in the externally, then the picture is not very nice, but mind is complaining. Oh, look, those pictures are awful. And also mind is holding those pictures are completely different than mind itself. Someone asks, these pictures you made it. It's yours. You did done it. No, I never done this kind of. They look that the picture of the hell, picture of the hungry ghost, picture of the animal, picture of the human god. No, I never. But reality did. Very stubborn and very kind of the intolerable and narrow, forgettable. The mind itself. But now, we understood those pictures are the really, according to Buddha's teacher, self-picture, self-shooted, self-film. And now, whatever on the past, we have some in the archive, in the story rooms. You can say in the big brain or small brain, or in the card, memory card. Whatever there's ugly picture, we need to delete them. Who can go to in these storerooms? Nobody's. Only mind itself. Now is the time to tidy up, to clean up, like dirty and unclearly came pictures, films, better to delete. How you can to delete? According to Buddha's teaching. They say the purifications. Or eliminate my disturbed emotion, my obscurations. That is the meaning of the delete. And also it's a truth. Say, who can to delete mind itself? In the mind storeroom or in the archive, who can go inside? Nobody's. Only accept mind itself. And that is the truth. For example, we can to say even the Buddha in the Buddhist perspective. And Buddha's like really enlightened, omniscient, can help sentient beings. The Buddha him declare, like declarated to says, I cannot go inside it to your mind to take away your obscuration or take away your sufferings by my hand or by water. Is he said impossible. How you can to take out, delete your inner these pictures, ugly pictures, the films. I give you methods. There's some special application. He called Buddha Dharma. You use these applications, then you go yourself inside, you can to delete it. That is the absolutely truth. This is truth. Who can to come into our minds? Who can to change? If there is a powerful something can change our mind, please change quickly. Install all the good things. I'm very much expecting. But I think it's difficult. We need to apply ourselves. And also first times, we need to study, practice analytical meditations, and analyze the object of the appearances. Really, there is existence, not existence. Those classifications, those varieties of the dimension, color, shape. Wow, inconceivable, the innumerables. Innumerable appearances. And also, our mind is quite very good. It says there is the 5 wisdoms. It looks like the truth. Maybe more than this kind of wisdoms. Why? Because when we see, we can to see everything. Yellow, green, blue, all things, almost unmixedly. When you hear the sound, we can to hear in sound pleasant, unpleasant, neutral, music, sing, birds song, different animal, humans. Wonderful. We have kind of the great wisdom to distinguish between those different type of the form, the sounds. Scent, taste, touch, so on. And this, the mind itself is the wonderful. But of course, those appearances really is like a self-appearances or not self-appearances. We should to analyze. If we never analyze, we never understood. Sometimes if you want to hear some very important pit instructions, basically all the appearance is introduced to the mind. Mind introduced like as the sky. Sky introduced as like kind of the empty nature. This empty nature is introduced to come back to your nature of the mind, the essence. And if we receive this kind of the teachings, if without the basic analysis or the analytical meditations, it's very difficult, very tough to understand. And like kind of in the ancient, first time to start radios, televisions, came to in the nomads. One guy, he received first one big radio electronic gadgets. And then some his families to understand that, and he put on the news. And he listened. Nice, listened, news, this. And then lunch times, he told to his wife, "Can you make nice tea? I'm thirsty, but I think in this machine there's surely one person, he talkative very much. He never studied Shatapism. And I think he's thirsty. Can you give tea?" And wife said, "What? It's a machine. It comes from something else, this sound." He said, "I don't believe. There's no cable. There's nothing. How you can to come in this? I don't believe. Don't tell me like this. Surely, maybe some beings put it in this machine. Surely you need to open or you put their teeth. There is something." He never ever believed. He all the time thinking there's one person. And then one is like families came, say that, "No, there's nothing." And to turn off and to open, look, there's nothing, only different cables. He was very much shocked, and he became unconsciousness. Really like this, it's really something. And then he thought, this is the magic. This is something. Sometimes if you don't analyze, and it's inconceivable, people's like kind of the wrong belief. Before I told you the story of the corn, but that's not needed to again to talk. Already I talked to you. Very stupid stories there is. Before it's like kind of the no existent mirror. And sometimes ancient times the mirror started, they look themselves, they think it's behind there's a strange person. And like unbelievable things, there's something is like everything is impossible. In the Buddhist perspective, according to Buddha's philosophy, and the Buddha's like logical or analysisms, everything is the possible. According we call the interdependencies. Dependent the like kind of the condition, cause, whatever. For example, before started the aeroplanes, and we never ever think to fly in the sky. And ancient times, this talking is possible in the future. Someone can fly. It's really many old people in my not. If I can to see, that's nice. For our generations, it's just nothing. Aeroplane everywhere, millions aeroplane fly. It's become the normal. We are eating in the sky, shitting in the sky, chatting in the sky, traveling in the sky. And maybe this is scientific, but this is also possible. Everything is possible. Because of in the Buddhist perspective, is nature of the reality. Nature of reality, no fixated, whatever. And according to that, our nature of the mind's perspective, everything can possibly appear. But we do not understand. Then it's the samsaric appearances occurring. Look, we're talking about the forest of the soul. Imagine that like this. And it's like kind of everything's growing on their metal branches instead of the leaves. Maybe why not? You can just say, no, cannot to be like this. Then it's the irons, they grow up on the earth. If you say the irons cannot to grow up in the earth, then where is irons come from? Irons, maybe some is melt and some is like a kind of the lava or lava pool, it's a volcanoes. To produce like this, that is also grow up in the earth. Exactly. Why not this kind of sometimes? This is also a self-appearances. And in this kind of self-appearances, maybe it is the kind of the punishment of the previous negative actions. Ourselves is very fragile, same as now the feeling. And those needles, those swords, those sharps is going to in our body. The sense feeling is like same as we are right now. But for example, sometimes camels, elephants, sometimes eating the shamily tree, or maybe it's a very needly trees, but for them it's like chili, no problem, they can eat. But for us, it's very hard, you cannot do big clothes. But this is like individual karmic appearances, is inconceivable. And someone like different meal, someone's not. Different perspective, different faculties. Different, how it is to divide like this is according to our mind. In the Buddhist perspective, nobody's created. Created is our mind. Therefore, according to the mind, it's possible this kind of can perceive, and we need to think. As they are the stairs, stairs by the air, the wind. The sword cut those beings, bodies, into little pieces. Their bodies reconstitute themselves under the chopped up, over and over again and again. And this kind of naturally is a kind of big wind. Wind is like very strong, like maybe can you say, surely there's not this kind of wind, there's no existence. Yes, hurricane. This kind of wind is coming, we cannot control. And then it's like kind of the chariot to hit it into the shamily trees. Those trees, leaves are the weapon, and the branches are the like kind of the spear, or I think some different weapons. You hit top of that, automatically die to make the peace our bodies. and the limps different ways, like kind of scattered your older body to make the pieces over. But of course, some is this wind is coming a little bit down. It's like kind of, it's you can to say is like electronic. How do you say the films? You make the like Star War, like unimagined things. Like someone is like you beat or make it, cut it, and then slowly melt again. It's become the like same as before form. And this kind of we can to modern times create like a film. Looks like they are same. Like there's one film, one person is, if you hit it, it's become like kind of piece. And then it's become like black particles. This black particle is like kind of turning, like kind of wind, and everything is enjoyed. It's no problem, become the humans. And sometimes this is just the it's the modern they create like film. How do you call the like fixations? You can fix electronic fix. You like imagine that. Fictions. Fictions. That's right. And this kind of, it's really, it's like they are like this. And this kind of, but according to karmic appearances, karmic like kind of the actions, they're kind of the repayment, kind of the maybe is like kind of the result, and the kind of our negative actions, the punishment. Nobody's, but this naturally. For example, if you eat the poisons, after we stomach say, but nobody's like a kind of the hurt of your stomach. You eat your poisons, then the poisons is like kind of the pain stomach, maybe die. And like this, we did some negative deeds. And we killed, stole, doing sexual conduct, give harsh word. And also it's like gossip, criticize to others. There's, mentally envious, sowing discourse, wrong view, so on. Shatapism's not yet started. And like this, and then it's like, this is naturally occurring. Naturally. And like a kind of, I may take example. Last few weeks ago, I picked up one trees. And I want to nicely to pick up from ground, but I damaged some in the road. And according that, then it's slowly, the tree is kind of disappearing. And like this, something is you done the cause, then it's slowly result affection is coming. Immediately there's nothing. Immediately when I broke this tree's root, it still smell nice, green, everything. But damaged. Like this. You done something and the result can come influence, affect. How do you say the affect? It's a consequence is a little bit later, not sometimes immediate. Retributions can occur, but most like a little later. Like this kind of maybe is possible. Then we need to analyze to them again. Whoever experience right now, may they quickly be liberated. I'm going to practice Dharma, compassion, kindness. If there's a virtue, I want to dedicate to them. I want to become enlightenment in order to liberate to them. And we need to generate bodhicitta, practice, and to give to them virtuous, good things. And also ourselves, we never create the cause in order to rebirth in this kind of situations. Right now, we have great opportunities. These opportunities is we lost. I'm not sure next time again we can to get this kind of opportunities. We should to taking care. Sometimes such we destroy the opportunities, things inconceivable. Really, really. And I would to say is like I say is mouth is the why we created the shatapism. Sometimes mouths can to destroy everything. In my areas, there's true persons as a talking. And like kind of they're a little bit discriminant. And what the other one says, a little bit dirty word. Other ones very angry. They fight and killed each other. But then it's like finally they checked. Nothing much reason. Small things. At that time, we already create shatapisms, wonderful. And when you say, and when you are something, it's like small things, this kind of. And therefore, like sometimes anything is like kind of negative things. When we are create, when we are doing, it's very difficult. The result is automatically can come. We need to taking care about like this. And to again and again, to look at the body, verb, mind. Am I creating the course of the reborn in this kind of neighboring hell? Any kind of the 18 hells. Now we are explored more, 8 hot hell, 16 neighbor, like realities that the 4 neighboring hell. And also we talking about shamily, 3 hells, so on. This kind of hells, we say hell. And like kind of so much sufferings. In India, this is dukkha. What means dukkha? And means is the sufferings. And what do you mean sufferings? Unpleasant, uncomfortable, pain. Sometimes it's Buddha is very much truth. He first time taught to recognize your sufferings. We do not experience sufferings, then we are never concerned in the cause of the sufferings. We never eat delicious food, we never think about the causality, the cause of the delicious, original. We think about defects of the samsaras, then we can to think about the cause of the origination. It is the causalities. When we are thinking about liberation, wow, very delicious, wonderful, benefit, wonderful. And then we can to think about cause of the liberation. It's the path, pit instruction, and the Buddha's teaching. Then as we understood the delicious meal of the liberations, then we automatically to want to eat the cause of the liberation. That means we can to practice without hesitation, without losing encouragement, and like this. Therefore, according to everything, of course, teaching of the Buddha's Four Noble Truths, but also it's like this kind of analysis, wonderful, like this. And then next one is hell of the iron shamily trees. Now we are going to this shamily tree hell. Hell of iron shamily trees. Shamily trees. Shamily is also English you use the shamily. And in Tibetan we call the shamily tree. In shamily dombos, in trees. Shamily is the, maybe you have a picture? You have many pictures. You can to have these ones. It's some is the shamily trees, very huge, like size of this, very big. And the top of the everywhere is the needle. Okay, and this one is here is the house situation. Which kind of cause make the rebirth on that? Very carefully to look. He said, it is there that loose monks and nuns who have broken their vows of the chastity. Chastity. Last time I used the chastity, but someone said, be careful. Why? That is maybe someone don't like use this chastity. But generally chastity is not kind of the spiritual vows. Chastity is like more self-discipline. Some is like a person has good humility, physically, verbally, mentally, to have very much to educated, and like kind of to have the like some self-discipline of the vows. They all the times taking this position, then all the times beautiful, nice. For example, I'm often to look at the holiness, and he wearing the monk cloth, perfectly way. And also it's like he's wearing everything is like kind of the organized. And someone's asked to him, why? Means maybe someone says, holiness doing like this, then they imitate badly. I want to show the humanities. And also it's like ancient times in Tibet, some lamas, they wearing very, very expensive clothes. I make joke, okay? But this is nothing. But in Russian, some in the Orthodox Church, some priests, they have very, very expensive clothes, It's like sometimes in Tibet, it's true. Some lamas wearing really, and also the ancient times has like the sea animals leather, like kind of the also tiger's leather, and sometimes they put on the and then this holiness, thanks holiness. Animals free, nobody's in Tibet now. Even these animals sucking someone's gift to you, they don't want. And also many now lamas, they never wearing expensive clothes because the holiness wearing normal, simple, normal monk cloth, but wearing perfectly. Sometimes you go to some monasteries, some monks, they wearing monk cloth. They are monk. But when you see them, it's really uneducated. Sometimes this cloth is up, this cloth is down. This one is like this. It's like same as me. It's like in Dharma city, I have two lopans. Sometimes they look at me. They say, are you mad? Are you crazy? Why? If I say, your wearing cloth is very strange. It's truth. Sometimes upside down. Sometimes it's like a kind of the half is on the ground, half is in your body. Is this not? It's be tidy up to really smartly doing nicely. It's like kind of the others imitating to you. Is if you are the become the important, you need to take the holiness, whatever holiness can, even the very dirty wearing clothes, holiness is holiness. Nobody cannot change these qualities because he changed inner his quality, he's achieved this kind of, then who can? It's in the Uttara Tantra said, it's in the rack, dirty, in the cloth, inside you, it's golden statues, you put it. But this statue is statues. Outside the rack and dirty clothes, it doesn't make more dirty the inner these statues. There's 9 examples of the Buddha nature. Like this, inner you realize the Buddha nature, or inner you become the holiness. Externally clothes doesn't matter. There's some we call the some Mahasuddhasa, and some is like crazy. I don't know. I met one. It's like my age in Dzogchen we have, called Dzogchen Rinpoche. Extraordinary. He's externally most dirty guy right now. Drink, smoking, very dirty everywhere. But maybe inside not dirty. And my own teacher is live. You met some. Dzogchen Rinpoche. He's externally wearing his gem and throws these things is second hand. When he's wearing that, and also he's become very strange. If you are normal guy, it's like putty, looks like a poor, short, and it's funny. But inside Alexander Rinpoche, you imagine. There's one picture. He bought one gym, it's like in the second hand. He wearing and he says, I'm showing for you that today is like fashion shows. I make a picture, it's very cute. If someone's showing like this, then that's okay. But inside is the gold statues. It's these ones to make wonderful, like this. But anyway, it's like maybe it's like I need to follow up the Shatapism. And also it's like really you can to way of the talking, way of the movement, and everything is to have the chastity. It's a kind of the discipline to have. And you be alone yourself, in your house. Close the window, nobody's to see. Whatever you want, you do. Free. And there's nobody's to see them. Outside is like, even sometimes I'm saying, when we make some party, and sometimes it's like we drink, I say, please don't drink in the front of the people. Say. Myself, I'm not alcoholic, but I'm also drink. But in the front of people, I'm taking care. And it's like this kind of, for example, I was in Georgia. One student, they're called the Nino. Her husband is he's very much respectful, but he's not a kind of interest, any kind of, like a little bit kind of open, but not practice, nothing. But of course he respects Buddhism very much. But then she all the time says, Lamas, extraordinary, don't drink, don't eat meat, everything. And then certainly, and we are dinner timers, and her husband says, would you like Rinpoche the cup of the glass of the wine? What can I say? And Nina says, no, Rinpoche never drank. It's like a little bit, It's kind of the heading. One is a perspective, it's truth. If I'm immediately say, oh, no problem, if I'm drink a few glasses in front of her husband, maybe she was shocked immediately. And maybe it's like, look this. I was in the one Tibetan, I went to a restaurant. And these Tibetan families all the time checking the lamas. Sometimes the lamas, they drink a lot. And then they analyze. And they give me one glass of the wine. I didn't reject it. Okay, thank you, put theirs. And then it's okay, automatically I saw wife is like kind of ice. What does it mean? He's also alcoholic, mother. That's message I understand. But I didn't drink. And they says, finally, I used, normal I drink. It's truth. But today I'm something wrong. But down there says like, that means it's like what we don't know. We didn't get really to our investigations worried. And also I was in Japan. That is my own student. One is like Chinese lady. She's very kind with me. She invited me in the restaurant and she asked to me, what would you like? Whatever you offer to me, I will eat this. And she said, of course, meat. Yes, you can give. And she ordered like a meat. And then it's like she ordered. I ate it. She ordered. I ate it. Maybe I would say few kilos. I ate it. You want more? You wish. And she said, it's like, would you like to glass of the whiskeys? Yes. Today is you are analyzed, you are checking out me. Curiosity. Whatever you give, order, I will drink. And she said, you understand. No, I don't want. So, okay, then stop. And sometimes it's like, if you is the front other things, if you do like these funny things, a little bit to make the problems. And therefore, I would to say you have some chastity, okay? Chastity, self-discipline in the front of the others people. For example, even in your families, if you give education to them, you follow up the shatapism and to show that your body's language. Be very nice, compassionate. You have such a kind of the chastity. Chastity, okay? And it's a wonderful. You look, for example, some good parents, some relatives, friends coming into the house. This person's doing funny things. They automatically say, please don't show to the children. They imitating. Therefore, it's like when you have some self-discipline, and it's the wonderful. You look in some, it's like a street in America a lot. I don't know in Europe. Some street, some is a so-called guys. They have so ugly, dirty word, slang. When you listen to each sentences after there's how much dirty word they used. Almost it is like difficult to repeat, embarrassed. Now it's also India. Some is Tibetan communities. Also they say, gosh, you cannot to listen your first times. But you all the time using, then it's like kind of used. It's you're nothing kind of the. It's like last time I sent you, there's one black guy. I don't know he's a doctor or he's a granddaughter or maybe it's like a daughter-in-law. And she made mask and to give to this guy. And he used how much? This natural. He's just not specifically using that, but something like this. And this kind of, sometimes you use this dirty, no discipline. And then this your family, your friend, the influence, dirty. Therefore, if you be the good friend, you also become good. If you have bad friend with bad friend, you become the bad friend. Therefore, if you have some chastity, a wonderful, I don't care this is religious word or any kind of word. Of course, it's like a Buddhist perspective, the monks, the nuns, vows, the breakers. And then it's like these problems. And the people who give themselves over to sexual misconduct are reborn in that. I said it's like a sexual misconduct. There are so many different types of the sexual misconduct. And like kind of the split in the couples, or maybe it's abused, rape, or it's like kind of the misleader to make the sufferings to the others. And then it's really is like this, they can to reborn in there. And therefore, it is like this. We have the chastity is the wonderful self-discipline. Then this kind of when we doing is like maybe it's a reborn. There's the effect of the such actions brings them to the foot of the terrifying hell of iron shamily trees. And also like this, the like effect of the such actions brings such action, this negative action, what they did, like lost breaks of vows, samayas, and any chastities, and like kind of the done something bad things to the others, and these actions pushed and brought them into the foot of in the betraying, the below terrifying hell of the iron shamily trees. This is like kind of the such terrifying, ugly, so awful that trees. These shamali trees. Then at the top they can see their former lover calling them to say, I'm here, can you come? And then we are like kind of want to really to climb up. Then it's as they climb, like eagerly, it's very enthusiastically, very kind of it's interestedly, up to enjoy them. All the leaves of the iron trees point downward and pierce their flesh and break their face and the chest, all the bodies, and they arrive in the top of there is all the body is like the piece of like this. When they reach in the top of the trees, when they reach the top, they find ravens. I'm not sure there's specific raven, but there are some birds. Those birds, brickers is so strong. Vultures, lemon gears, I'm not sure. Vultures, eagles, hawks. And like that, dig out their eyes to suck up the fat part. And this kind of surely situations you can to look. Sometimes you can to look the animal, like kind of the National Geographic channels. Look sometimes, last time I looked, there is like some wild duck in the Africa. They catch the one female deer, oh my gosh. There may be 20, 30 ducks. They eat, they catch, they eat, they take the piece. After the head, only head in the fell down, before they catch the other ducks. Feast is still moving, but the body is piece already on the duck's stomach. Duck in the wild ducks. These kind of the situations happened. A duck, wild duck, is not a highness. A dog. A dog. This is a duck. See? Dog is woo. Duck is. And the wild duck. You create shatapism. And like this is sometimes also there is you can to look some animals a little bit injured, they eaten by the vultures. And when you look at the eagles, oh my gosh, they catch some small animals without date, they eat it half. Like this, this kind of the birds is coming and then landing into your like kind of the broken body. But still you are feeling you are alive. dig out days like kind of your eye, tongue, nose, take out, they eat. And the pain sensibility is the same as we are right now. And then is how much is kind of the sufferings. And again they see their friend or lover calling them in the bottom of this iron shamily trees. From the foot of the hell, this shamily trees. And of course, this is like kind of the pushed by the negative in the actions periods. They cannot choose. Like this bird just finish it, and then we are come back like kind of the cute. Then we need to go down. Of course, the down they go. Says, I'm coming, stay there. Then leaves turn upward automatically. It's like kind of this kind of, how is the change you can to say me, maybe? It's really exaggeration. This trees up, down, how you can to change it. Trees sometimes looks like really alive. You look at some plants. There's one flower, red flower. It's kind of open, awaiting some flyer. And flies go inside, they capture and they eat. They never open again. The flies die inside that their food. And then is how they can do. They open this flower, but the flower itself naturally occurring. It's like kind of the karmic, the appearance is inconceivable. And therefore, sometimes surely we can to have like this kind of experience. And it's like what we done in the past. And also this like shamily trees, leaves turn upward, downward, and this kind of. And also it's like stabbing then through the chest again and again. Like kind of halves of falling, not broken. And when they are reach in the below, once they get down to the ground, hideous metallic men and women embraced them. Hideous, terrified. Really, it is the horrified, like metallic men and the women. And you want to hug, yeah, my lover's hugs is not your lover. You know, I mentioned this film, and first this guys, he's like kind of see that his wife there, he want to hug, he hug, but not wife. Some trees, some rock he's hugging. And like this kind of karmic appearances sometimes happen. But of course this like shamali hells, it is like there's you hug, but this is like kind of the hot, maybe iron. Or maybe it's like something very poison. Or maybe it's something else. Here is said the just example is the hideous metallic man and woman embraced you. It's nothing kind of the like pleasures, such and such pains. And also it's like a beating of their head and chewing them until the brain trickle out of the corner of their mouth. And there is something like in here is said is like before the metallic man and woman. And embrace it. Embrace it is just to holding very strongly, and even like it is too strong, the brain, blood. Like for example, if you are banana to holding like this, or butter, and everywhere is coming out like this. First is like kind of you want to hug, but certainly is of course this is not your lover. it is the repayment is naturally to change into the metallic man and woman and brace to you and the squeezing and brain like a brain and the tickles out of the corner of their mouth or ear and the nose, and then it's coming. Such are the torment experience the hears. We need to think about that and to generate bodhicitta. Now we obtain human existence. We have the chance to do something to stop reborn again there. And like this, and also he says, absorb all the detail of the points of the 8 hot hells. We already explored to analyze it, those 8 hot hells, included 16 neighboring hells, and also it is like a kind of the iron shamily hell and shamily trace hells. Everything is which kind of areas horrible, who is cycling again there, how is their sufferings, how long periods there's need to stay. Everything we studied perfectly. And now we understood this situation of the 8 hot hells. Of course, whoever reborn there, maybe is such a suffering. And we need to do some virtues, benefit for them. And whoever presently, in the currently experiencing them, whoever living there, we need to make a liberation to them. We need to quickly apply our own path. To be enlightened, we need to go to there to help to them. They expect to us. And also it's like our own self to stop to reborn in this. And also this existing neighboring and the supplementary hells. Supplementary hell is the same as the neighboring. And the hell of the iron shamily trace. Iron shamily trace. Hell of the iron shamily trees. These things is to, if you explore, and it's a wonderful experience to them. It here says, withdrawing to quiet a place, close your eyes, and imagine that you are really living in the infernal realms. Infernal is like kind of the suffering realms, defects realms, inferior realms. It is like kind of painful realms. There's like kind of the 8 hot hell, 16 neighboring hells, iron shamily trees hells. And you need to go to in your room. You need to go to your solitude place. You close your eyes. Imagine, if I'm reborn and there, if I'm in there now at the moment, in this situation occur on my life, what can I do? How can I ask? And how much injured that? To need to experience again, how much you have the fears when you have feel as much terror and pain as you would if you were really there. And Buddha also, he's kind of the feel other sufferings. Maybe himself, or when I be to there, how much sufferings. Of course, he began to say, to see the other sufferings, humans, animals. He said, I mind pains, uncomfortable sufferings. Surely, if I may become like this kind of sufferings, I will also suffering pain. And I see that some other suffering sentient beings also are in pain, terrified, and it's problems. Therefore, and then he saw that, then he applied his own path. And we also need to experience again and again, to check again and again the 8 hells. And really what can we do? Arousing the following thought in your mind, like this sort of, if I'm like reborn at there, what can I do? Even like kind of, if I catch cold, how much I'm scaring, how much try to get rid of that. If I cut a little bit by the like kind of knife, or some needle is come fixed into my finger or bodies, how much I'm try to get rid of that. If this kind of such inconceivable suffering, like a kind of the hot hell, 16 neighboring hells, and the iron shamily tree hells. And if this kind of the hell is like sufferings, wow, it's like impossible. I need to hurry up. I need to quickly to practice Dharma in order to stop reborn there, in order to liberate to whoever being there is. I cannot to postpone, cannot to be lazy, and like this. Okay, we need to continue. Yes, Lord. I feel such intense terror and suffering when I choose to imagine all that pain, even though I'm not actually there. Of course, I'm the kind of actually not there. Yesterday we swimming out in the swimming pool, Dharma swimming pool. It's a wonderful, and the water. Someone is like jumping inside. It's wonderful, but someone is not in the swimming. But I'm become cold. It's just not entered, but you can to experience outsidely. Like this wonderful kind of you see like those, they like kind of the experience, suffering sentient beings experience. You really to put into the mind. It says like this thought in your mind, arousing the following thought in your mind. Arousing the following thought in your mind. Arousing, generate. And to really to something is like create in the mind. I feel such the intense, wow, so much suffering, terrifying your mind, suffering. Like now I'm imagine, I'm not there actually there, but who knows in the futures. You know, sometimes very healthy, and the people, they eating very organic every day. Wonderful, they taking care, very healthy, but cannot to trust to that. Say, I'm healthy, is no problem. No, you should to continue to take care of them. Some certainly sicknesses attack and problems. At that moment, then it's like it's the end of the happiness. Therefore, it's like in the relatively, it's something. It's like I'm not there born. It's okay to relax. Who knows next times? Who knows tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next month, or next year, in the future. So. And also there are the countless beings living in those realms, like kind of 8 hot hell, 16 neighboring hells, right now. And all of them have been my parents in the past lives. Here is like we are talking about the parents. Maybe it's like your lover, your children, your partner, whoever you loved. Maybe on the past, those beings are maybe reborn now there. Who knows? Also, you need to concern, if you don't concern your own families, and then it's like how you are. Okay, I'm a little bit kind of sleep. You can to prepare your questions. Okay, love. Your question?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Helen Galushko asks, if we are reborn in hell, then how can we help other beings in case we have to undergo these sufferings? Followed by a question, can we realize that other beings around us are suffering and that there are different realms in which there are no sufferings? How can we help beings that are reborn in hells?
Not necessarily to be in the hell. Helen, right now, can you help to others? Even we cannot help ours, how we can to help others? Therefore, we are practice Dharma, study Dharma, follow up the Shatapism, in order to realize that our own potential of the nature. When we be enlightenment, then you can go to hell, you can to help. 100%, I give you guarantee. And you will be here in the humans, you can help to the others. To be enlightenment, then help. As you said, is just we go to the hell, same as like we are. We can't help. We also under the gore of these sufferings. Impossible. You understood perfectly. You should to right now, you need to get power, strength, education, please.
Thank you. Dasha asks, is it possible to born directly in higher realms instantly after being in hot or cold hells?
Well, possible. When they purified their own cause of the past life, exhausted the cause in order to rebirth in the lower realms. Yes, of course, immediately they're coming up. Therefore, cyclic existence.
Thank you. Henrik Sal asks, filmmaker projector metaphor is great, but what are they projecting on?
What they make a picture, they are projecting on the world of the, they are making something film. Also, they are projecting themselves.
Thank you. Irina Timoshenko asks, can we humans contact and benefit these hell beings directly? Can they be around us same way as hungry ghosts?
Oh yes. Maybe they take refuge in you. They put hope into you. We can contact to them. And then once we contact to them, we need to do some benefit. Really, compassion, kindness, education, generosities, and whiskey.
Thank you. Someone asks, Ivan asks, thank you Rinpoche for your teachings. In this difficult times, this is real treasure for all of us. Could you explain, please, the sacred symbolism of Guru Padmasambhava's trident? From Ivan.
Traders.
Katmanga.
Kapala. I think you need to ask the Mandala. Katamka is the body of the Mandala. Mandarawa. Guru Rinpoche consort of the Mandarawa. This is the form of the Mandarawa. She took this kind of form, and there's explanation is a lot in the Mr. Googles. You can to go to there. And Katamka has is the upper. There's triple, three like kind of the upper. How do you say top of? And then below there is 9 hooks, and the three upper is the representative of the 3 kaya. There's 9 like kind of round. Each direction there is maybe is like kind of the 3, 9. It's like kind of the there's 9 the vehicle symbolics, and also there is a down there is and human head, completely dyed up skeleton. One is like kind of the middle, that one is a fresh, and also this is a kind of the representative the Mipkaya, and also another there is a symbolic. And also there is a Dandamara, bell, and a live lady's hair, or some human's hair, or dead person's hair, hair. And also there is like kind of the kada, or the like kind of, how do you call the, some curtains. And then it's all this curtain has many different symbolic there is. The reality is the body of the Mandalava.
Thank you. Temiz asks, Dear Rinpoche, could you explain in what way other beings...
Who is this one?
Temiz. Okay. Dear Rinpoche, could you explain in what way other beings are benefiting from the virtue we dedicate them? Is it that the power of the virtue is transferred into their account, or is it more like making the aspiration to liberate them once we are liberated through our own virtue?
The money of the virtues you keep in your bank, it's a lot of benefit. Money of virtues you transfer to the others sentient beings' bank account. Yes, such a benefit. When you're talking about really the unmistaken virtues, all the time is help, all the time is benefit, all the time is the source of the liberation.
Thank you. An anonymous person asks, why first the Patrul Rinpoche compare some specific hell realms with some particular heaven realms? For example, reviving hell with realm of 4 great kings, black line hell with the heaven of the 33, and so on. Is there any relationship between them except the calculation of period we stay in those hells?
There's nothing, of course, generally in the whole the samsaras, they are related. They connected. But this is like kind of the examples. It's not like kind of the Patrul Rinpoche using these things. It's like numbers. That this is like kind of comparisons. The how long they need to like periods to stay in the different hell dharmas. They are not necessarily to completely specifically connect each other. This is the example, not only the Patrul Rinpoche, it is like kind of the Buddha's teaching like this.
Thank you. Sojo asks, if we practice liberation of thoughts during meditation sessions, how to integrate this practice with post-meditation everyday activity which requires conceptions, judgments, ideas.
During the concentration meditations or the meditative concentrations, you can to make the liberation your thoughts. Then you can to make liberation thoughts any times, because your meditation of the liberation thoughts, you are familiarities, you are masteries. And then it's maybe also your the meditative concentration and post-meditations become the unite, not like kind of the separation. And also in these perspectives, you can automatically to making the liberation of the daily, normal kind of conceptual daily activities, thoughts. Normal like kind of conceptual daily thoughts is the thoughts. You want liberate thoughts, make liberate. That's everything you can to make. If you want thoughts, you cannot make liberation. That doesn't matter. Meditative concentration or post meditation or daily during the conceptuals. And one you cannot make thoughts liberation, then you can't. Doesn't matter.
Thank you. Regina Nagmitova says, Tachidele, if we eat meat, will we reborn in the hell? Thank you.
And you soul opt, don't thinking about these animals. You choose to kind of the taking care your taste of your food, to make happy your tongue and the mouth. And something is according to your desire to eat meat, yes, surely. There is a such making the obscuration. Itself is to bring into the health. But if you want to eat meat, you order to kill two other animals, yes, that can make like kind of the whole course of the hell, absolutely. But when sometimes you need to eat meat, there are different circumstances. Of course, you can to excuse it, but sometimes our human bodies, this body is like kind of body of the, meat eater. Like a little bit kind of the, how do you say, it's the cannibal, not cannibal, sorry, the beaster, but it's like kind of a little part of the cats. And in this perspective, sometimes your bodies need it. And that times maybe you buy something already like those animals lost the life. And you are eating some small insect or something. But anyway, it's like you kind of the piece of taking the meat. Maybe you can to dedicate your virtues. You generate bodhicitta and to appreciate it, and you say like kind of the recite some mantra, praise. Maybe good connections is even that it's make cause of the Pure Land.
Thank you. Henrik Saal follows up with, so clarifying your answer, the mind, which is both the filmmaker and the projector, is also the screen that the images are projected onto?
Oh yes, everything is, probably you studied, Buddha he said the root of the samsara nirvana, object, subject, filmmaker, picture maker, photographer, and also it's like the screen, or how do you say, it's like where is the projector place. And everything is the mind. If there's no mind, no film, no picture, no object, no subject. If there's no mind, how you can do all of them? Everything is the reality, creation is creator is the mind. That's true.
Thank you. Last question from Paul Maclay. Dear Rinpoche, I wanted to ask also about Katvanga. You said that it symbolizes the body of Princess Mandavara, but in the text it said that it was the body of Yeshe Tsogyal.
No, wrong. Katanka, yes. Katanga. I think you read this wrong. Not the Yeshin Tsogyal, it is the Mandarava, okay? I read many biographies of the Guru Rinpoches. The Katankas normally is the representative of the Mandarava, not Yeshin Tsogyal. Yeshin Tsogyal is this Tibetan lady, and she is all the times in the, I think in the left side there is. It's Yumkar is the form of the Yeshin Tsogyal. Katamka, I'm not sure. Or maybe your reading is correct. I'm not sure. Okay, I read as far as I understand. This is the body of the Mandara. Okay. And there is another questions. French persons. This is your question. Okay. Lotsawa Chloe.
One more question.
So it seems that in the book it's emphasizing that we are reborn in hell because of anger, but according to the explanation, we can also be reborn because of desire. Could you please explain?
First I want to say all the Lotsavas, Russian, Japan, French, and all the Lotsavas, I want to appreciate. Thank you very much, your support to us. Second, here is the French Lotsava Chloe. She asked to say that this, I think, is once you have the mind, and of course, there's principally five disturbing emotions, like we call the poisons. But of course, we have the 84,000 disturbing emotions. But the result is like a kind of the different perspective. One is like your question is most hot hell beings reborn there because of the anger. Some in the we can to look at the iron shamily tree hells, they are like kind of the most reborn beings. Looks like through the disattachment, because it's talking about lovers. But I think it's like in the hot hell or the neighborhood like this, maybe most time it's like kind of the angers. For example, it's not kind of the mentioned, but I would to say, even that this on the neighborhood, neighboring the hells, the four neighboring hells are surely this is the reborn by the angers. And also iron shamally tree hells, also maybe it's like angrily reborn there is. And also it's like monks, nuns, and also others has a discipline. Why you lost? Why you broken? Maybe you make the kind of sufferings. Maybe it's like you make other sufferings. Then this person's angry, and or yourself is angry. Maybe you make a war, killing each other, and it's like splitting each other. and beat each other, and like this. And mostly is by the anger, the cause of the reborn there. But of course, it's supported by the other also disturbing emotions. That is sure. Other questions? Okay. Then we can go to a little bit more further like this. And I feel such intense terror, suffering, he says. This next paragraph is, there are countless beings. Oh, no, I'm not there. Oh, yes. Here is I'm read again. There are the countless beings living in those realms right now. It's surely. And like it's in the period say sometimes even the hell of ultimate torment. They are like kind of how is the beings is coming to there like snowstorm. And a lot of, and like same as any kind of realms, and those the beings done some different misdeed or the negative things. There all the times there is. You remember the Avalokiteshvaras. He 3 times to make the empty of the samsara, but impossible. Each moment they become the same as the before. And like this, there's many kind of someone is like living, someone's coming, someone's like kind of they're living from that, someone is stay there, someone's coming to there, landing to there. And therefore it's this kind of realms. And all of them have been our parents in the past life. 100% there's different connections. There's no knowing whether my parents, loved ones, and friend of this life will not be reborn there once they die. Who knows? Someone is like our lover or some friend, families. If already someone's passed away, gone, maybe they have such different negative deeds, their own kind of the actions. Maybe it's reborn immediately there. We need to think about to them. And maybe those who ever living that, maybe in the beginning, let's enter now. Probably also we have such connections. We already mentioned many, many times in the above. And now maybe not necessarily, but he's very colorly. And this kind of the lover one, friend, and it's like a different perspective, we have connections. Those families reborn there when they died, then we need to think like this. And also the rebirth in those realms is caused primarily by actions arising from the hatred. That is like a principle, the lots of us answer is there is. Rebirth in those hot hell realms is a cause primarily, more like kind of the principal cause, is the action arising from the hatred. Of course, they're supported by the desire attachment, and also supported by the like jealousy and anger, proud, so on, so other like 84,000 disturbing emotions kind of supported them, but primarily and principally the action arising from like the hatred. And also it's like, and I myself have accumulated in incalculable number of the such actions in this present life, as well as in all my past life. Like this is really truth. In the presently, how many years we are now. And maybe 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. During these years, it's like kind of the how much we act according to our anger, hatred. Like kind of the each moment there is like angers. And sometimes in our Dharma practitioners, sometimes say, this person's disturb me. I cannot control my mind. I cannot practice Dharma. I cannot meditate. Disturbance. Then that means they all the time is angry. And we need to take in care anger. And in this life, how much like kind of accumulated, incalculable, like kind of the number of the such action in this present life. Also as well as there is no need to mention on the past lifetimes how much we accumulated at the anger like kind of the actions. I can be certain that I myself will be reborn in this health sooner or later, surely. And also sometimes we have very, very strange behaviors. We say, do not be angry, you should to give up forgiveness and yourself. You will be reborn quickly in the hot hell realm. Yeah, okay. If you sooner or later, yeah, I know. Don't need to tell me like this. And like kind of the, don't much, I cannot control, I cannot do it like. Of course, if we kind of not control the mind, to like kind of, okay, to give like this, they might give my free, mind is afraid. Its mind is sometimes horrible. I have the experience. For example, if you think your enemy, someone's disturbed to you, you cannot sleep even. You thinking, angry. There's two persons studying something, and one person is like don't understand vocabulary. For me, it's many times happened in this word of my perfect teacher, English, And reading is like again, and repeat dictionary. Sometimes I want to, the electronic or the book is, because so many different vocabularies coming. And like this, one person so angry is immediately pick up the dictionary to put in the wall. Because so anger is coming. And sometimes they say, this person says, why you are angry? Study is not easy. Are you studying anger? No. Certainly something this person's hatred or angry coming into, and he's studying, look in the dictionary. Imagine his disturber is coming so much angry and don't want to break the dictionary. But the dictionary cannot say, or the dictionary breaks, what is the benefit? And like this, sometimes just maybe on the past, you're some disturbance coming, then you're angry. You're angry in your thoughts, your mind, it can make big kind of the negative picture, film, and like this. And therefore, it's of course we need accumulation as well as in this like kind of on the past life, in this present moment. Can be certainly I myself were the reborn in the hell sooner or later. Then it's therefore you choose to say, I born, I don't care. Then we cannot to talk each other. Why we are studying this kind of book? Okay, you can do whatever you want to acting. Some people say, I cannot control. Of course, as I said, you don't take care of your mind. Mind all the time is habit, go towards the negative directions. And when is anger is coming, that moment, we talk about total liberation. You need to recognize your own anger. My anger. Your anger is like kind of while you look at the anger itself, and to holding your anger a little bit. Anger is naturally, there's liberations. Anger has become the beautiful flowers. It can make happy you. Anger has become the beautiful landscape, your imagined landscape. it's make happy to you. But you are anger timers, you are constantly more into your enemy, your disturbers. And then it's like continue and you develop anger more and more, and then your bodies become very tired, restless, and you cannot sleep. And then afterward, pain, angry, and then inside also negative habitual tendencies, habitual forming impotence again and again. Then we destroyed ourselves. If you is like angry towards the enemies, which kind of the benefit? And this towards angry is maybe it's like your enemies, nothing your angers damages it. You know, it is the Buddha, his cousin brothers. You know that this devil that he all the time is challenged with Buddha and angry the Buddha. Once is like a Buddha enlightenment and he come back to visit his wife and son families. He leaving out and Devadatas came arrogantly. Now you a Buddha. You are become like this. He's like kind of the mocking and provoke and teasing to him. And also it's like he says, whatever you say, Buddha, he says, there's example very nicely. If you give nice present to others, maybe inside beautiful, maybe very ugly, but this person's not accepted. And say, thank you very much. No, it's like kind of the, I would say, Hyajizanga Rinpoche. And very kindly to give back, don't accept it. Then this present owner become again yourself. Nothing to the others. Like when you visit the Hyajizanga Rinpoche, you give some present. First time, say, oh, thank you, yeah, nice. And the holding, now I give you back. And then it's like, need your things bring to yourself. That's all right. You give like a compassion, and you are like kind of towards anger, and like this kind of, it's other ones not accepted. And you generate bodhicitta, it's benefit yourself. You generate anger, you destroyed yourself. The other one is like nothing. Kind of maybe it's like others to show it to you, anger face, but you repay back, it's smiling. And that is the most wonderful. And like this, when we are angry to the others, this is very important in the any religious forgiveness. And also it's like to look at the anger itself, not concerning the what you are thinking, the object. You choose to be principal object, your own anger. Then there is the thought liberation and anger liberation. Angers never make the negative patterns into your mind. And then is anger itself is also excellent as a become. Maybe according the anger you can become the enlightenment. At present I have a human life completely with all the freedom advantages. Now it's necessary and bring the anger into the path. I don't want to say it's like I cannot control, my mind I cannot catch. It doesn't matter, soon or lunar I will reborn in the hot hell. I can't do nothing to the earth. Then you can't do nothing. And then you can accumulate more and more. And what can we do? I can tell the histories. There's one guy, he met one ghost. And then it's like they are very good friends. And the ghost says, you are humans. Yes? And human said, you are ghosts. Yes? And then it's like, ghost says, like, whoever connected to me, I can to help. Also, I can to make horrible things. If someone not contact, and the human said, I'm not sure you can do it. Okay. Then he said, he's showing one person, that is my friend, the ghost showing to human. My friend, I can to help. He's going to die I will bring to in the heaven, Pure Lands. Okay. Then this human is like some influence, nobody can see. Like the ghost, they see each other. And then this ghost friend, he's died very smoothly, peacefully. Like everybody was shocked. This person's very much criminal, unkindness, and like kind of evil person. But dead, the person is so nice because this ghost helping. And sooner they separated the mind and the bodies, and this person's going to in the hell. He pulled and says, "Not go there, girl." Impossible, and went. And then the humans, look, I think you cannot help. This time, the next time, sure I can do helps. And then he said, look, this person's never contact to me. This person is called the practitioner of the Dharma. I will bring him to the health. No, yes, only he's looking. He makes something is to make the death. And then this Dharma practitioner died, but a horrible way. Pain, and it's like not peace. Everybody was shocked. This practitioner is a very strange way died. But the sooner they separate mind and consciousness and going up, he's falling down, you cannot go there. And direct in the one to the Pure Land. And then it's a human say, yes, you are really ghost and ghost. You cannot to help. And to like this. And then it's like, he say, I don't want to follow. Then there's something happened. And this is the end of the history. And like this, it is, and everything is like to go to the Pure Land, go to the town, and like this, it's everything is totally, it's very much depends on ourselves. And now this time is we need to like kind of think about our situation. We are the perfect human existence, excellent human existence in the freedom, advantages. Also we have met an authentic spiritual teacher and received the profound instructions which after the possibility of the attain the level of the Buddhahood. This need to change right now, sir. And when you have something is like on your table and full of your food, you should to eat enough for your stomach. If you don't eat, and then this food is taken away and you separate after you're hungry, then there's no any more food, what you do, sir? And this is maybe a strange example, but there's examples. When you reach in the gold land, you should to bring gold. Maybe next you move to other sand land, maybe you think, oh, I didn't take it, too late. Now it's like it's a perfect human existence. Do not kind of the way or the cast away the Western way or useless way. We should to use some important way. It's this time is in Tibet we call the Torpa Pochukmas. In this life, I want to be enlightenment. You know, in this Mundu praises, even not this, maybe in the Pardo, maybe next life, I want to be enlightenment, benefit for sentient beings. So I must do my best to practice the methods that will save me and from the ever having to be born in those low realms again. Absolutely, this time you should to tell to yourself and to this kind of, I think it's like I want to put my practice into really to serious. I want to like kind of to cut in order to reborn in those low realms. And I want to, of course, to make the kind of the liberation of truth. Over and over, again and again, to think about that, to into your minds. Reflect like this on the suffering of the hell and the supplementary health and the iron shamily health. How much they sufferings. Maybe you need to confess your past misdeed. You can to mix it, all those sentient beings on the past misdeeds. And together you can to confess, purify it, to make liberation them and make liberation to in yourself. And misdeed with intense removes it. It's possible. If you generate bodhicitta 1 nanosecond, maybe you purified everything on the past misdeeds. Maybe also it's like kind of the can purified. It's possible to maybe help. And make the unshakable resolve that even at the risk of your life. It doesn't matter in this life. You just to be simple life in order to practice Dharma. You are not rich, but you practice Dharma. You are not kind of the really powerful, but you can to practice Dharma. You haven't got any like a high position, but you can to practice Dharma. And most it's an important task to practice Dharma, continue to make the liberation your mind. That is the very important. Even the day he said the risk of your life, you will never again the committed act like negative deeds, which lead to rebirth in the hell realms in the futures. This you need to take the vow, commitment, they says. With immense compassion meditation for the beings who are their narrows, now, immediately, and like kind of the unshakable to generate bodhicitta, unartificial, immense of the compassions. You should to generate this compassion support to you in order to develop your liberation path. This compassion to support to you in the life is become successful. These compassions can help to you become your perfect, your path. And also these compassions can help to other your families. Therefore, immense, unshakable, they generate bodhicitta or the compassions to make the liberation. Right, you says, now, pray that they may all beings freed from the low realms, this very instant, put the teaching into practice, whatever your teachings, and the complete with the methods for the beginning and the main part and conclusions. Of course, beginning application of the bodhicitta, in the main part of the non-conceptualization, and the conclusion is the dedications. That is like we explored 8 hot hells, and the 17 or it's like kind of the supplementary hells. Everything now we have in the memory and to explore, and we understood these situations. Now we need to pray nobody's reborn again, there's included ourselves. Thank you very much. If there's something nice things, you can to read, remember again. Nothing there is important, just like kind of nonsense, get read, forget it. Thank you very much. Sonam dai tamche zikwanyo, tobni ni pudana pa. Here gananji walam tripaye, sapan solindro kando hyo. Hyoncho sancho Rinpoche, mashi pana shejerchi. Shiba nyamba me pa ton, kone konde pera shos. Lama keje kondra la, mugu janyama mashana. Yang la ja cha jama be pi, semugu ndala nentenzo.